Oh, Wednesday. Where is Angie?
Oh, she'll be back next week. So welcome, Purposeful Family. We are back with a Spook-tacular episode today. I'm your host, Angie Melange.
I'm your co-host, Candace.
Tomorrow is Halloween, you guys. And I don't know, y'all, this time of year always takes me back to my childhood. And I love dressing up. What about you, Candace? I mean, obviously.
Yes. This is definitely nostalgic for me because I used to always be an Egyptian lady when I used to go trick-or-treating, but now I'm an insect. So
oh my goodness. I love it. Yes, the antennas. Yes. You better. Well, this was a very cost-efficient costume. So anybody that wants to be Wednesday, get you a white collar button-down shirt. I have a black dress on and, get you a wig and braid it up. Or if you want to wear your natural hair. But it's a very cost-efficient costume. So I'm Wednesday this year.
You are pulled off very well, girly. I love it.
Thank you. Well, today's episode is all about the youth, you guys. We've been wanting to do this episode since last season. And it's our forgotten youth. But before we get into the episode, Candace, what you been up to, girl?
So I actually have a awesome update. I went and voted early.
Yay! Awesome. Oh my gosh. Did you capture that moment?
I did. So you all are about to see it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Clip.
You just voted. Right. We just voted.
Today is an exciting day. Me and my baby are going to go vote. Early voting. Yes. Get out and vote early, y'all. Say hi to the people.
Oh, hey, people.
It's her first time voting.
Oh, congratulations. That's
exciting.
Good. I have a 20-year-old. She's like, my people, they don't vote. I was like, listen.
Yeah.
This is reality. We need to do this. Is important.
Yes,
That's
it
what
is.
Makes us special as Americans.
Absolutely.
We should be proud of no matter who we choose.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, Pumpkin, you ready to do this? You got your ID?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it. All right, so I got to put this camera away, y'all. But we're going to go do our civic duty.
Mrs. Harris, Madam Vice President, yeah.
Soon to be president.
You got my vote. Soon to be.
So Kamala Harris was in Atlanta last week. And so I got to attend the rally. Girl, Usher was there. It was nice. Girl, one of the little security guys down there was flirting with me. I said, I'm old enough to be your mom, but if you can get me up there, he was like, yes, I'll walk you up. And he walked me up. And so, yeah, it was fun. It was definitely fun. And the other update that I have is my band, the Groove Alliance band, we finally have Instagram. We are Instagram official. So if you guys want to follow us, please follow us on Instagram at Groove Alliance Band. And we're really excited about our upcoming performance at the Georgia Festival of Trees. As a matter of fact, whenever we're done filming this episode, I'm actually going to be heading to rehearsal. So excited about that, and look forward to introducing the band hopefully on the podcast. Maybe in a future episode you guys will get to meet my bandmates. But awesome. So that's what I've been up to, girl. Hey Purposeful Family, it's Angie Melange with the Pretty Purposeful Podcast, here reminding you that your voice matters now more than ever. We're less than 30 days away from Election Day, and in many states, early voting has already begun. No matter where you are, you can find out your state's early voting schedule by going to vote.org. This year, we want you to vote on purpose, with purpose, for a greater purpose. All right, really excited to get into this episode, though, because we have an awesome guest here with us today, Mr. Phillip Shakur Cooper. He's a visionary founder of the Teenz On Point youth development and mentoring program based in Jonesboro, Georgia. Dedicated to guiding at-risk young men towards personal growth, life skills, and positive transformation. Phillip's mission with Teenz On Point is rooted in his own powerful journey. Once caught in the streets and facing time in a 5x10 jail cell, Phillip decided to turn his life around. He went from being part of the problem to being a vital part of the solution. Now through Teenz On Point, he mentors youth on what it truly means to become men by teaching them essential trades, life skills, and values of providing, protecting, and securing a future. Phillip's story is a testament to resilience, redemption, and the power of purpose. We are so thrilled to have him share his journey and the impact of Teenz On Point with us today. Everyone, please welcome to the stage, Mr. Phillip Shakur Cooper.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Oh my gosh, we are thrilled to have you here. And is it okay if I call you Coop?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, Coop. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you making time to be here, and we are so excited to hear more about your story, about Teenz On Point. So to kick this off, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background, tell us about your journey and what inspired you to start Teenz On Point?
You say tragedy, making a lot of mistakes, the wrong decisions and choices, right? So like I say, it was a 5x10 jail cell. So we know I had to do a lot of time. So, in 2005, a brother asked me, he said, man, what you going to do when you get out? I still have 5 more years to do. I said, I'm going to open this thing called Teenz On Point. He said, why? I said, man, I just want to try to help the kids. That was it. It wasn't nothing else. It's like 13 years later, 10, 12 years later, I birthed it. But then now I had to put it all in perspective. And I said, man, I'm from South Carolina. So I said, we got 27 penitentiaries. And I know I wanted to go to least. I said, I'm going to go to 25 of them. That's like, I'm out of my mind, right? I've been to 7 of them, but I've been there 4 times. So it's like, okay, what can I do different? I wasn't raised like that, but I was raised in the brick city, the hood. I'm saying? I still call it home. But at the same time, I felt that I had to keep this rep up. You know what I mean? But now, the same place that I started at, as drug treatment, I became the lead case manager. So I went back, got my addiction counselor, peer specialist, got all this stuff like that. Just, hey man, it's time to do right. Am I perfect? Nah, far from that. But at the same time, I want to teach my youth not to make the same mistakes I did. So I'm drug-free, been drug-free since September 27, 2013. So that's 11 years.
Congratulations.
So, that's where we at. You know what I'm saying? Can I stop everybody from using drugs and making the wrong mistake? Nah. I can't. But, at the same time, I can be a part of that solution. And it's not just me. I only got a program. I don't have the program. God got the program. So
That's right.
I deal with a whole bunch of other people that deal with a program. We put all our A's together and we might can come up with something.
Oh, my goodness. I love that.
So running a nonprofit, especially one focused on youth and underserved communities, that comes with a lot of unique challenges, right? Do you mind discussing some of the challenges that you faced and how you've managed to overcome them?
Well, I'm still overcoming a lot of them now, right? It's just like meeting the right people, because I want to say this here. Everybody ain't who they say they is, right? So being that I've been in the street, I have this thing where I have these antennas, this spider sense, right? Be like, oh man, I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that. And so after it was training that helped me, but the challenges is this: having all your paperwork in order, doing your 990s on time, right? So, if you forget all this stuff, they'll mark you out, right? So the challenge coming in, you got to do your footwork. You got to do all your footwork to make sure all your paperwork be in the game. And when they're dealing with the people, I don't get funded at all. I don't get no funding, right? So you got to think about it. For these past years, and I got a building, you know what I'm saying, where I take the youth at. So all this stuff is coming off. I don't clock in no clock. I walked away from a job 92 days ago. So, it's like, okay, now, and you talking about purpose. So, the challenge come in at when you doing the work and it's like, you get nothing for it. But I am getting something for the young boy saying, thank you, Mr. Cooper, for helping me. Thank you, Mr. Cooper, for helping me. So the payment might not be a monetary value, right? The payment might be in a thank you, and I appreciate that, right? Even though that stuff don't put no gas in our car, it don't appreciate and thank you, don't put no food on our table, right? But at the same time, me coming from humble beginnings, when they say, thank you, Mr. Cooper, for helping me to change my life, that's gas in my gas tank. But it ain't the gas tank that you thinking about.
Woo!
Wow.
Yeah.
Woo! That's profound.
Yeah. What up?
I mean, that's purpose right there. And the fact, like, I love that you said that sometimes you're not giving monetary gifts, right? Sometimes you're not giving that money that you know you could definitely use, especially when it comes to this hard work that you're doing. So the fact that, I mean, that's huge. And that's how you know for a fact that, again, you're really like, this is purpose for you. This is your dream. This is meaning. This is fulfillment for you. The fact that you're not worried about the money behind it, but you're worried about the impact. And that really touched me, because we live in a world where everything is about money, 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 money. And just you being on this platform shows me that, no, Candace, there's still people out here that have hearts. You know?
We talk about that all the time. I know recently we were just talking about that, Candace. I've been telling you for the longest, like, even with this platform that we have right now, we're not getting any monetization for this right now. We definitely are paying money to be able to provide, this platform, but it's about making sure that we are putting intention behind this platform so that years from now, the content that we're creating, this conversation we're having right now has so much value. It's going to continue to bless people for years and years to come. So, but thank you so much for sharing your perspective on that. While we're speaking on that, I did want to talk about the current political climate that we're in right now. We know we have an upcoming election. It's very important. How does Teenz On Point engage with the broader social issues that we have going on that affect the youth that you mentor?
Well, I know a lot of in the news, they talk about gun violence, right? Mm-hmm. So, I was a victim and a suspect on the gun violence, right? Because that's what I got, attempted kills, things of that nature, right? For using the gun and selling guns, stealing guns, things of that nature. So now I deal with most of the kids. They deal with, I say, are you packing now? He'd be like, yeah, I got a gun on me. So I let them know that I got a safe place, that you don't have to bring your gun to where you at, where I'm at. But this is what I found out. I found out at least 65% of our kids have some kind of dealing with substance abuse. Did it be weed, pills, cocaine? So I was focused on gun violence, but now I'm focused on substance abuse, because most substance abuse, weed and all this stuff, alters our mind and our mood. And then now when you step on my shoe, when I'm drinking and high, I'm going to react different than when I'm not, right? So now I know the social stuff, because we got these social and psychological imprints that they put on us. Nigga, crackhead, drug dealer. He ain't nothing. He got a hoodie on. So now we got these social imprints that's stuck in our youth mind, and they don't talk about this. They turn their head to substance abuse towards youth, right? Because I started getting high at a young age, so I get away from the gun violence and I focus more on substance abuse, because socially, this is what we're talking about. Are we talking about the kid that's breaking in the cars? Socially, we're talking about in the parks and recs close at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Now, what do we do after that? Socially, this is what they're talking about, right? So, I try to, in dealing with presidential, I don't get in that too much, because most of our youth, they don't even know nothing about it. Okay. They stuck on, hey man, I'm trying to get a good job. I'm trying to stop breaking in the cars. I'm trying to stop, we got to make good environments. Nobody talking about this. You know what I'm saying? It's a few, 20%. But what about the rest of it? We got another whole percentage that we're talking about. We don't say nothing about safe places. They'll say it, but then they close them down. Right. I got a safe place, and I only got like probably 15 youth, right? So, socially, we can talk about a whole bunch of stuff. What about behind the scenes? What about the stuff that don't be on news, that they don't say nothing about? Shootings, robberies, murders. But it's other stuff that's going on too that's good, right? Like what we doing. Do anybody ever talk about that? Do anybody ever talk about the good that we do? So I can't keep taking a whole bunch of thank yous, and I appreciate that, right? Mm-hmm. So, I just look at the social stuff as like just a smoke screen to me. I'm sorry.
No, I appreciate your transparency and your perspective on that. And that's why I believe that partnership is so important in this work, because a lot of us, like, I have a story to tell. I won't get in deep into it right this moment, but I do want to say that it does take the collaboration, because we have the passion behind what we're doing. But some of us may have maybe the experience, maybe the connections to be able to talk to those people that are involved in the political party that can get funding, that can get the word out. So I think that if we can get, Kamala Harris in the office, she's very passionate about the youth. And to be honest, this topic of our forgotten youth came up because during the Trump presidency, I noticed, as a mom, that he didn't really talk much about the young people. He, wasn't really setting a good example for young people, being a bully, publicly bullying people. And you got young people that are dealing with bullying every single day. Not only that, like you said, in our communities, it's like you say the smoke screens. There's people that are in those positions that have no idea what our youth are dealing with, coming from broken homes, dealing with a single mom who's at work all the time. The mom might be smoking weed, and when she's at work, the kid might be smoking behind her because, that's just what mom got to do to survive. Mom's stressed out. So these are the things, these are the lived experience that we have, Coop, you and I, is so valuable and necessary to talk about. So I just want to thank you again for your perspective. It's so important that we hear that from leaders like you in the community, that you don't have to be on the political side, but that's where partnership comes in.
I have a question for Coop when it comes to, the substance abuse, right? What advice or what would you tell to younger people that feel like weed and using something that's not really good for you? What advice do you give to younger people that this is what they use to help relieve stress? What else can they do to relieve stress? What is your go-to, to not just want to run and take a hit,
Well, my thing is all the stuff I've been through, 15 years of drug abuse, right?
Yeah.
Not 15 minutes, not 15 hours, not 15 days, not 15 months. We're talking about 15 years of constantly, remember, like I told you, that social and psychological imprint that was imprinted on my head that you is a nobody, a crackhead. You is nothing, right? So what it is, we build a central role model. We start to bring people in there that look like them. Not the one, you ain't even got to bring people that used to go through it, but we're going to show you this is a black police. This is a black fireman. This is a black baseball player. This is a black astronaut, right? So we bring this central role model in there and allow not only me talking to them, but because their belief system is blocked. So we got to get something to penetrate their belief system. And maybe 4 or 5 hours can hit them and it'll wake them up. So we build a central role model program to have not the black drug dealer, not the black pimp, right? But we're gonna show we do more than this. So my thing to them is more than just saying no. So we teach them about peer pressure, the different levels of peer pressure, right? So peer pressure made me do a lot of stuff. So it's my peers, and not only that, when I go home, my dad and mom put a whole bunch of pressure on me. You got to finish school. You got to do this. So you got to understand the pressures that the youth is getting. They're getting pressured by their mother. They're getting pressured by their peers. They're getting pressured by the teacher, the principal, their girlfriend, their cousins. So these kids got a whole lot. But now that I'm 50, I begin to understand, like, I got to teach them not to make the same mistakes. How can I do it? We bring people in like, y'all, okay, let her talk about it. Let her tell her story. But now they seeing that it's redemption. We can redeem ourselves. Regardless, I got the devil pitchfork downstairs, right? So I've been to hell and back. So I'm one of the ones been to hell and back. So maybe that sea star that I throw in the ocean out of the million that's down to 10,000 seashores down, maybe that one I might can save. And that's what we got to look at. Just more than don't do it. Don't do it. Because they're going to say why. And we don't want to say this because I say it so. We got to explain to them why. You understand? And that's how I think might help to penetrate that belief system, that thick wall of belief that they got. You got to penetrate it. And they're going to take more than me. They're going to take the collaboration. They're going to take the village. They help us penetrate that thick wall that they got in front of that's called a belief system.
I do have another question, and thank you, Coop, for answering that.
Yes.
My next question is, what is next for Teenz On Point? Are there new initiatives or any type of expansions you are particularly excited about?
Yeah. What we're trying to do is get down with the Department of Labor, so we can do what youth bill, IBEW, so we can actually start to get the kids certified. You understand what I'm saying? We do have where we do introduce them to electrical, plumbing, carpentry, right? So now I just got a whole slew of stuff. Because you got a 17-year-old, don't know how to change the tire. You don't know a 3-ton jack from a 2-ton jack to a 4-way, right? I got AAA, but I called a flat the other day early in the morning. I had to change my tire, and I had a youth with me. He said, you did that thing fast. So it's the know-how, and they uncoordinated. So we want to have a bigger building. You know what I'm saying? Make a bigger building. We want Teenz On Point to be heard from all the mountaintops, right? So let them know, man, we're going to bring trades and skills back because all the old people dying off.
That's right.
It ain't enough Mexicans to do this work. You know what I'm saying? It ain't enough Mexicans to be a carpenter, plumbing, electrical. They can't take over like that. So we got to bring our kids. Everybody ain't going to be in the NBA. Everybody's not going to go to college. Everybody not going to NFL. Everybody don't know how to work computers. We're going to need somebody. Michael Jordan needs somebody to build his house. Michael Jordan needs somebody to fix his tile in his bathroom, fix the hole in the ceiling, right? Yeah. So we're going to bring sexy back. You know what I'm saying? And that dealing with trades and skills, dealing with your hands, right? Not only your hands, but dealing with your mind to balance it out. Then we're going to deal with your spirit, right? So, it's a whole lot of work, but we got new stuff coming in. And I can't do it by myself, but we have a bigger picture. It's bigger than us,
That's amazing. And I just wanted to say, I personally, I know just looking at me, you probably wouldn't be able to tell, but I actually do have experience with like carpentry, with drywall.
What?
Yeah.
You look like it.
Yes. Back in Pittsburgh, my daughter's father is to actually be a Section 8 landlord. So we did a lot of fixing up of properties. I actually renovated my house that I lived in. So I know how to hang drywall. I have actually probably more tools than most guys. So that's another thing that piqued my interest about Teenz On Point is that I know what the mission that you're trying to do. You are absolutely presenting these young men with skills that they will be able to make money anytime in their life. They will never have to, if they can't get a job, they will always be able to create one. So I love that. It's so many more people need to hear about this. And there's so many men out there, even adult men who don't have these skills, but I think if they have sons and nephews and cousins that are going to benefit for the future, that they should be aware and definitely support the cause. So I just wanted to throw that out there. If you ever need some volunteers, I can come down there and show them, how to hang the drywall. I know how to, what do you call it?
The wood and tape, you know what I'm saying?
Tape and the corners. And
you know what I'm saying?
How to texture,
Okay. Okay, that's my thing. That's my strong point, drywall.
That is awesome. If you had any advice for anybody that wants to start up a nonprofit for the youth, is there any advice that you can give someone that's looking to start their own nonprofit?
Yeah. Let's watch out for the ones that's trying to charge you $1,900, $2,500, $3,500. I called my partner down in South Carolina. He have Lil Homie. That's the name. I never met him before, but he got a thing called Lil Homie, right? Mm-hmm. And he walked me through this thing 45 minutes, right? Now I know. Now I can walk somebody. It's asking putting the right question in and putting it in. It's ounces. You got to put the right answer in, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to have a strong mission statement, but at the same time, he ain't charged me nothing. But I sent him $200, right?
Yeah.
But somebody tried to charge me like $2,500. 2 weeks, I got my letter back, right? 2 weeks. I said, oh man, I got it back. So it's just getting the right people, man. That's like you and I. That's passionate, and it ain't about money. So I just tell them, get with the right person, man. Get with the right person, and they'll Zoom with you, and they'll go through it, right? And have your paperwork, and make sure you do your 990s. You got to make sure you do your 990s every year, because you miss it 3 years, they revoke you.
Yeah. Now, what is the 990? Is that like your non-tax? That's your tax exempt?
Yeah. No, it's like how much you made. Like you make under 5,000, 50,000. If you make $1 with 50,000, you have to put a 990 in. But usually when you do it, you can do an E990, right? When you do the 990, you do it on the IRS website and you got it in. You got to make sure you do that. I do mine like every December.
Okay.
You understand? And you got to make sure you got to search and make sure it's out. And you got to go on there, hit the link, and then you'll go through it. It'll do it in about 5 seconds. Once you put it in, it'll 5 seconds. It'll be in, right? But a lot of people forget about it. They be so all over the place. So another thing too, we have to focus on our mission, because we'll start adding stuff to our mission, and then we'll forget what we're doing.
With the core.
Yeah. What's important, and a lot of us is we're getting overburdened by you should do this, you should do this. So I just focus on career development. That's my thing. Career development, workforce development. And we have the life skills inside that. But that's why I get another person to say, hey man, come teach him this. Hey, you come teach him this. I'm career development. We're more than just tools, but I don't focus on community engagement. I don't do that. I just focus on career development. So now when you first start, you want to do everything. Then you're gonna forget to do your 990 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Then when it's time for you to get a grant, they're gonna say, oh, you got it. And then they're gonna say, you've been revoked. Yeah. Now you got to go work for somebody else. So the whole thing, make sure your paperwork and make sure you listen to the right people. That's it.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. While we're on the topic of that, I do want to just say that's something that I had, I started the process in Pittsburgh. I don't know that I started out with the intention of doing a nonprofit. It was more of just me, trying to give back to the youth, because I actually was locked up in the juvenile justice system. I was a good kid, but just didn't have the structure, didn't have the resources, didn't have the guidance at home. So I got caught up in the streets. And for me to even put this out there publicly, I'm not ashamed, because I want to be able to show people that you don't know what people have been through, and you don't know the reasons why they even encountered some of the things that they did, especially in our youth, right? So there's no shame associated with that. But what I started doing in Pittsburgh, where I'm from, is I started going around to the youth detention centers and group homes, and I would share my story. I'm actually a singer, so I would sing, some popular songs that they all love and like, gain their trust, because, kids, if you're not talking their language, or you don't meet them where they are, they don't want to
shut down on you.
Yep. So I would come in there and I would sing whatever the popular R&B songs were. I got them all engaged. And after that, they were willing to listen. And when they heard my story, a lot of them were like, wow. And it was, a lot of times it was through my own college journey when I started doing this. So I'm telling these kids hey, I was a high school dropout, and here I am pursuing my bachelor's, and since then, I've gone on to pursue my master's, but I'm a former high school dropout, but going and talking to the kids and just letting them know, showing them what's possible. A lot of people had counted me out. And I just kept saying, you're not going to be a statistic. You're not going to be a statistic. So I started a movement called VIP movement, and VIP stood for Visualizing Individual Purpose. And it was really all about flipping the mindset. How kids are so attracted to celebrity and, Hollywood and all that popularity. Well, VIP was to really show them hey, you each individually are VIPs, but you have to, once you realize your individual purpose and you walking in that, that's how you're going to maintain that VIP status. I shared that with you, Coop, because when I moved to Georgia in 2018, I was trying to partner with other youth organizations. And that's how I found you on Instagram, because I put a hashtag in there on one of my posts, and I start searching that hashtag, and I came across your page and I added you, and we've been connected ever since. And I've been just supportive and just amazed by all the work that you do, and just want to, just glad that we can come to this point today where I feel like the partnership is divine. I feel like God has aligned me with you in any way that I'm able to, contribute any of my talent, skills. I want to do that. So I want to take this opportunity right now to just let you know, I have a event planning company called Pretty Purposeful Events. It's a startup. I just started it actually last year. But what I do is not only the marketing and, a lot of the administrative stuff tied with event planning, but I also have equipment, I have microphones, I have speakers. So if you ever are doing any type of events and you need those type of services, I just want to offer that to you at no charge. That would be my contribution. If you needed me to come and speak, you can call on me. So I just want to put that out there. It would be an honor to be able to support you in that way.
Word up. Word up.
Yeah.
And, I would like for you, to come down, because now I'm getting more kids and all of them, I changed the name. I changed from 14 to 21. I don't deal with women, the girls no more. Now I'm finding my target. When I told you, be all over the place. And then, after a couple, you bumping your heads. People say they're going to support you. But then really, I knew that I had to just totally trust in God on the whole thing. So it's my dream. My wife says, your dream. You got to work harder than everybody. Yeah. So it's your dream. Me and you got to be up 4 o'clock in the morning. We got to stay late. We got to make sure, this stuff go down. You know what I mean? Period.
And speaking of your wife, I just want to commend, her, for the role that she plays in supporting you. And I love when I see you all working together and just the contributions you're making to the community. Like, y'all are the pillars that our communities need. So thank you to you and your wife.
My next question is, for anyone watching who may be inspired by your work, how can they get involved or help support Teenz On Point?
I mean, I'm a direct person, my phone number 404-438-8320. You know what I'm saying? You can text me, and it's all about business. You know what I'm saying? That's all this phone about, business. You can hit me at Teenz On Point on Instagram, Teenz On Point on Twitter, which I don't know how to do Twitter. And I got Out the Mud Motivation on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe that all of us came out the mud some kind of way. They say we was made from dirt, mud, whatever. So, it's called Out the Mud Motivation on Facebook. And I'm on 646 Mount Zion, Suite C in Jonesboro. And we at the building 9 o'clock every Saturday. We don't care if it's raining, snowing. We in that building every Saturday with the youth. And right now we're on electrical. We're on next week we will be on how to wire 3-ways. But, tool terminology, hand coordination, dexterity. So we deal with one-on-ones. We deal with the fam. We deal with the mothers. You know what I'm saying? But it's doing its thing, man. So you got to allow it. You got to allow the baby. If you take the baby out for 9 months, take them out of 2 months, it might be an issue. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I don't want to say die, but we got to allow them 9 months. We got to allow the baby to stay its course. You know what I'm saying? The metamorphosis of a caterpillar can be a butterfly, but a butterfly will never be a caterpillar again. You know what I'm saying? So once you come into Teenz On Point, you're in a cocoon, and your old self got to die in order for the new self, to become a butterfly. So, that's how we're doing our thing. You know what I'm saying?
Love that. So inspirational, Coop. You are definitely walking in your purpose right now. And I can see you as not just mentoring the youth, but just you're like a motivational speaker. You have it. You definitely, because I'm sitting here like I'm inspired, just hearing you and just hearing the way that you present, the way that you share, you make it so digestible that, you just really have a gift. And I'm just so glad that you reached a point where you executing that vision and you're doing it purposefully. So we commend you for that. We want to go ahead and go into the next segment here, which is actually also talking about your purpose. So this is a segment that we just recently started called Purpose Pulse. We just like to get a pulse on how you perceive purpose and how you're living that in your life. So if purpose were a tool, what tool would it be and why?
Mine would be a hammer. A carpenter hammer, a long carpenter hammer. You know what I'm saying? Reason why, because the hammer, you use your wrist, your elbow, and your shoulder to drive it in. And that's how I do. I wake up 5 o'clock in the morning and I drive it in. You know what I'm saying? So I got to wake up. Me and my wife do our prayer every time, prayer protection before we leave the house. So that hammer, I'm going to use that to drive it in. But you got to get a good swing on it. You got to know how to, don't choke up on the hammer. You got to put it at the end. Like I said, it come from your wrist, your elbow, and your shoulder. So you got to know how to use it to drive it in. And it's going to take practice, you know what I'm saying? Because you can take a 3-penny hammer, 3-penny nail, and hit it in with the right hammer, just one hit. Sometimes we're going to miss it, we're going to bend it, but then we're going to start getting good. We can always do it with our eyes closed. So I drive it home with the, you know what I'm saying, with the hammer. And I use hammer as a purpose, you know what I'm saying? That's it.
That is amazing. Oh my gosh. Thank you. You're metaphorical. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Yeah. Very metaphorical. I love that. As a songwriter, I can appreciate the art behind that. So yeah, thank God for your gift, and I'm thankful that you're using that gift purposefully. Candace, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you. We're getting ready to close out this episode.
Everyone that is tuned in, guys, you all have heard it front and center. Phillip just shared how Teenz On Point teaches life skills and traits to help the young community pretty much overcome challenges, right, and build strong futures. Another thing that I want to point out, Phillip's journey, okay, from incarceration to actually building a youth-focused organization, that's something we all can learn from. That's actually a testament to finding purpose through adversity, right? So that is huge. And again, thank you, Phillip, for pretty much sharing that. And thank you for your work. I can't, me and Angie can't stress that enough. Another thing that I want to mention is community involvement. So the importance of community-driven programs to uplift at-risk youth is huge. It reduces negative influences like crime, poverty, and addictions. You have heard it front and center again, just with Coop's story. Okay. Angie, I'm gonna pass it back on to you.
Oh, yes. I just want to just add to that, every single one of us, has the opportunity to play a part in the youth's lives. Whether you're a parent, whether you're a cousin, whether you're an auntie, an uncle, or even a babysitter, we all have the ability to pour into our youth. And it's so important. We can't rely on politicians, to do that. And Coop mentioned early on that it takes a village. We hear that all the time. And I truly do believe that that's what it takes. These kids, there's so much that we each can pour into these kids. They're not going to all get it from one source. But many of our youth today are struggling. You have a lot of single moms out there that are working that may not be there. There may not be a male, role model or figure in their lives. So that's where we definitely need our community leaders and our family, to pour in and to be able to fill those gaps. So, so definitely mentorship, volunteering with organizations like Teenz On Point, and being able to donate. If you're able to financially contribute, like Coop was saying, if he doesn't have funding right now, there's definitely ways that you can contribute to his organization. You've been able to pour in, sow a financial seed will allow him to be able to, buy more tools, be able to expand, get this bigger building that we're going to speak into existence, right? So definitely many different ways that you can help organizations that are already existing, and even just outside of the organizations, just within your own family, paying attention to these young people, just paying attention to the signs. If you see any signs that you think might indicate that they may be dealing with depression, or maybe dealing with some type of substance, right? It's making sure that they feel seen. This whole episode was all about, our youth being forgotten. I have only one child, and by the grace of God, she has not had to endure the adversity that I have. But to hear from her perspective that even she felt that it seemed like the leaders of this country, really forgot about them. So it's up to us leaders, local leaders, to pay attention and to, be able to pour into and shape and mold our young people. So we're just so happy, Coop, that you took time to meet with us today and share your story and the work that you're doing with Teenz On Point. Those of you who are out there who would like to be a guest on our show, please go to our website at prettypurposefulpodcast.com. Fill out the guest registration form. We would definitely love to have you on. And then we're going to wrap up this episode with a couple of Halloween tips. Make sure that you travel in a group. Make sure that you travel in well-lit areas. They have the different little light up sticks, glow sticks that you can get for your kids. Making sure that you are taking familiar routes. So don't go into neighborhoods you're not familiar with, especially in this political climate. Definitely stick to what you know. Make sure that you have someone with them that is over the age of 18. I mean, if you're not able to be there, make sure that they do have an adult with them. And last but not least, make sure you check that candy before you let your young people eat the candy. And, if you're like me, grab a couple of those Reese's Pieces for yourself. Because I know I sure used to raid my Kayla's candy while I was checking it. I know not everybody celebrates Halloween. So if you're going to a trunk or treat or any type of a harvest festival, just celebrating the season, let the young people be young and enjoy themselves and stay safe. Candace, did you have any closing remarks? Any tips for the trick-or-treaters?
You hit it all. You hit it all on the head.
Okay.
You hit it.
I hit it. I got it. All right. So again, we want to just thank you all for joining us today. Again, we want to thank our special guest today, Mr. Coop, on behalf of Teenz On Point. And as always, it's okay to be pretty,
but even better to be
pretty purposeful. All right. Woo! Bye.
Okay.
Bye. Take it easy.
Ha 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 ha.